And just like that, everybody, Apex Legends is trying to find their way back on the map. The giant question to all of you guys watching right now, is it too late for Apex Legends? And I think a fair few of you might think yes, which right now I'm kind of leaning towards with their latest announcement, a huge announcement. Nonetheless, I do want to say, especially with all these teams out there trying to compete in Apex Legends, the ones that are sticking around, and all of the esports out there that are also trying to expand their prize pools, we have seen it heavily across many esports out there. The grand expansion, especially into 2020, and this is a gigantic announcement nonetheless. That's going to be the Global Series announcement. $3 million, 12 live events. Alongside that, you guys should be pretty excited if you're pretty good at Apex Legends. Open registration leads to challenger events. Alongside that, online events lead to premier events. Ultimately, all of those lead to the major, and eventually the Apex Legends Global Series Championship. All said, guys, 12 live events. That's not going to mean 12 LAN events, but 12 broadcasted events. $3 million+ in prize pools as well. Dizzy retired too soon. You know, with this being said, online events, open registration for a few of the events as well. I would not be surprised to see many of the old pros, many of the streamers who have gone to other content out there return, much like they do for, you know, the Twitch rivals, the Code Reds, and especially someone as good as Dizzy. When it comes to open registration, anything can happen, and it's free. You know, it's free prize pool earnings out there. So I would not be surprised to see a guy like Dizzy hopefully come back and try and compete. And speaking of which, when it comes to competition out there, maybe a guy like Ninja might go and return to Apex. We'll talk about that in a second here, why that story is a bit confusing, but nonetheless, I think it does beg the question of why now from a team like Respawn, and of course, especially when it comes to a company like EA, why now did it take so long? This is a gigantic announcement. When it comes to being compared to a lot of esports out there, this ultimately brings Apex above many of its rivals. You know, you look towards the top esports, CSGO, Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League certainly on the rise as well. When it comes time for prize pools, though, this makes Apex Legends one of the biggest prize pools announcements for 2020, and that's got to be something to be noted. But with that, why now? Throughout 2019, we struggled to have gigantic and several gigantic events out there. EA certainly had the money to announce at least some smaller events here and there, maybe a smaller series, maybe $500K, maybe $1 million in prize pool. They certainly can afford that. So why wait until 2020 when your game has certainly been on the downward trend? Is it too late? It's hard to feel that it's not. But all of this seems perfectly timed around the Ninja controversy. No, I'm not calling it a conspiracy, but yes, the time around where a few days back Ninja gets banned from your competitive game, and I don't think it's a good look because yes, he asked to dive into your DMs, and I always love, if you guys watch the show, I love developers and companies that are open and honest with their communities out there. It's not a good look, and I know a lot of people out there love to give Ninja hate, so be it, but when a guy like Ninja calls your game and your competitive scene a very, very small pro and competitive scene, it's not a good look, and especially tied to the fact he randomly gets banned from your game and then you don't reveal what exactly, you know, happened with all of that. I think it's a bad look either way, though. Ninja tries to explain why his ban did happen, and also the competitive scene in Apex Legends he defines, I would say, fairly accurately.
Was an LTM. The client's game account has been banned.
You've been banned?
She got banned.
Wait, you're actually banned? Yeah, you're not my game.
I guess they don't want me to play the game, dude.
Wait, you actually get banned?
The client's game account has been banned. I'm banned. I can't play.
Okay, you're banned on Apex.
Alright, I'm banned from Apex.
Okay.
Alright,
well,
what a waste of literally my night. Which is very strange to me.
I wonder if it's probably on accident.
It is 100% not, it's not on purpose. I have not done anything.
Or maybe there's angry.
Plus I haven't hacked it on that game in like a year, so there's just no way.
Wait, what?
Really good at Apex, man. If I stayed on par with it, I probably would have been one of the best players. Happy I stuck with Fortnite though.
Yeah, exactly.
The competitive scene is so small, it's so tiny. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that there might be like a decent amount of players who are in it, and like I actually enjoy watching the games competitively, but it just needs more. Small. It's very small.
So again, I ask all of you guys, you know, is this too late for Apex Legends? The game, when it first came out, we were covering here on this channel. Unfortunately enough, the fall off, like Ninja says, there are just not enough organizations tied to the game itself for me to justify covering it. You know, I do really enjoy the game. I think from a viewership angle, it can have potential in this space. As the downfall of Fortnite begins for BRs, PUBG's not doing very well as either, and the trend goes for the same for Apex Legends. Will you choose between the three of those? I think Apex certainly has potential. You announced a $3 million global series that adds the potential But then you compare it to the likes of Fortnite and PUBG. PUBG also has solid prize pools, and especially with PUBG Mobile, the viewership is always going to be there for that side of the game that they certainly do offer. Alongside that, Fortnite, you cannot compete with the viewership, the player base, and the prize pools. So Apex is certainly in a very, very weird role. I think, again, it's a great, great announcement, especially for the pro scene out there. But you look towards just the brush off the top. You guys can add more in the comment section down below. You still got SPMM. The spectator in-game is currently really, really trash. When you have open online registration for tournaments, that cheater, of course, you know, Apex, known for its heavy amount of cheaters out there, that will be hectic on top of that. You look towards eligible countries out there. India's not going to be one. And so you got to ask yourself why. Obviously, you can only allow so many countries in. Those are just four issues right off the top, you know, right from the top of the dome. You guys can think of probably several others when it comes to competitive Apex Legends, why this game is struggling, but many other games are also struggling right now as well. And when it comes time for a BR out there in this scene, they have a chance. This is a big move for Apex Legends. Is it big enough? Is it soon enough? Are two entirely separate questions. As always, though, I'll be back here all day long breaking down gaming, esports news for all of you guys. Until next time, take care. Can Apex Legends do it? 2020 is their shot.